I end up back in the ER. This liver, after I see Dr. Schuster, she's falsified her records. I notify the detective. I write her up to the Missouri Board of Healing Arts. I end up back in the ER at Boone. A friend of mine's like, you look bad. I got up first thing in the morning. I still had some of Dr. Schuster's pain pills. She gave me 30. I said, that's fine. But what she wrote in her notes made it look like I was, just demanding a bunch of narcotics and that there was nothing really wrong with me when she got recorded sitting there suggesting a radical hysterectomy. That's pretty serious. Then when they realize I'm not going to go see their GYN who can help control the evidence, which when you look at the records, they had me set up to be arrested at their GYN on King Street. And discharged me from all of the university's clinics for reporting that rape. They didn't list Dr. Adam Beckett's name, but that would have been real stupid for them to list his name since he was under investigation for sexual assault, an audio recorded sexual assault. I went back into Boone. Dr. Michael Parks or William Parks, whatever his name is, was the ER doctor. Immediately had an attitude. Oh, and he was trying to, I had the swelling up here, and when I started pressing on it, I almost threw up. It's basically where my liver is. It's up underneath my left rib cage. And I had some flank pain. It wasn't anything like it was before. I said, I have pain medicine right there. It's not even touching this. I said, and I should be like pretty much passed out right now because that's how sensitive I am to the pain medicine. Well, I think this is your back. I'm like, my back? What do you mean my back? I said, I have some pain in my back, but it's from that uterine swelling, which is really quite obvious at this point. Over my sacral area, over the butt. Lower butt, something. I'm not sure what. That's where the way Nanette listed it, or excuse me, Beth listed it, but I concede I really don't know what that particular area of the rear end is. Well, it's all the abdominal wall, he says. I'm like, this big swollen area up underneath the front of my rib cage that's making me nauseated and sick is justification for a lumbar spine MRI. Again, he was trying to cover Elizabeth Wilson, who was trying to cover Dr. Scott at Boone, and the two doctors, everybody at Family Health Center and everyone at, it was tag teaming. The audio of that exam is so ridiculous that it was like a Laurel and Hardy show. He leaves, doesn't give a diagnosis, I'm pretty much, going septic is what I'm doing. That rupture has released all the poison into my system. And that's just a layman's term. That's not obviously a medical way of putting it. But I'm getting sicker and sicker. And they're playing more and more games and not documenting the actual symptoms I was complaining of. On that August 1st visit to Boone, what he documented in the notes was nothing compared to what I was actually in there complaining of. He wouldn't give me the doctor on call over at Women's Health Associates because if they didn't see me, then they could get in trouble as a COBRA violation. So he tried to refer me to an orthopedic surgeon. It was all a smokescreen, basically. He came back in the room later and he says, would you like something stronger for pain? I said, I really don't care to take much of anything stronger than Ultram. I said, other than Tylenol number 3, because I like being brilliant. I like having my memory. I like to be able to keep up with what's going on. And he looked at me like, oh, fuck. And he could see I had the phone out. I was recording everything. He left. The nurse came in and gave me a prescription for 25 Norco. When I went to Kilgore's to fill it, I said he wrote for these under false pretenses. He gave this to me from pain, complications from this tumor, but he wrote it in the medical records for back pain. And that's not what I went in there crying, you know. So Kilgore's Pharmacy knows that they're falsifying the medical records when they're writing for they're covering up basically the symptoms of sepsis or cancer, whatever it is they're afraid of. Now you can't see it real well here, but I'm turning yellow. It's more obvious to me in my eyelids than anywhere else. All this area up here didn't used to look the way that it looks now. I'm looking pretty black around the eyes. I have photographs of me that I'm going to be putting in the URL of me a year ago. The woman that Bess Sweeney was trying to hook up with. I'm going to have those pictures of me looking all healthy and great color, and she was recorded saying your color's really good. My color's not good anymore. So I pretty much give up on getting any type of treatment. And my neighbors are like, Heather, you're really in bad shape. You can't give up. You can't give up. You've got to go to a doctor. So I make an appointment with a doctor in Audrain named Dr. Andelin Clark, or Clark Andelin. My friend Katie, by that time, has jumped in. She said, I just got these emails because I wasn't checking my emails with the university because I graduated. We need to get together and talk, especially about the sexual assault thing going on. I said, Katie, I really need to get to Mexico to see this OBGYN. I'm in bad shape. Can we talk in the car on the way over? Can you take me? She says, yeah, sure. Well, immediately he's worried about cancer. He tries to do an endometrial biopsy right there. I explained to him about the explosive bleeding, feeling nauseated all the time, feeling nauseated when I eat. I didn't notice it so much that drinking anything caused it. I was having to pee every 3 minutes, I swear to God. I was so bloated and felt so full all the time. I explained to him that really bad pain that I had where Beth was prescribing, upwards of 12 narcotics a day. I said once I had that first explosive bleeding in March after that 3-hour vaudeville show with Dr. Wilson at Family Health Center, I said that real sharp rectal and vaginal pain disappeared. It was almost like it relieved the pressure by exploding all that blood out for a week straight. I said, I said I still have it. It's nothing like what it was, and it's very easily managed now. He said, well, I immediately, when he said, and I gave him the list of my other symptoms, how things changed, and he said, well, first thing I want to do is rule out cancer. He did nothing inappropriate during his pelvic. He attempted to dilate me to get an endometrial biopsy, and the pain was too bad. It was just too bad. I told him that the tumor was growing very rapidly. It was very likely, closer to 5 centimeters at that, 6 centimeters at that time as opposed to just 5. This was around September 1st of 2015. He has me get scheduled for a DNC biopsy. He says, I got to do this in the OR. This is too painful for you. I can't do this. I started sweating. I was about ready to throw up. So we go out and we get me scheduled for what I understood was going to be a DNC biopsy, and he was just going to look around with the history, whatever that scope is that they use.